Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Big Keys back here with episode 3 of Wrestling Talk Radio. First of all, before I introduce my guests tonight, because we got a show. I can't even describe the show we're gonna have. It's just a big show we got because the main topic that we're gonna discuss, y'all gonna love it, and it's gonna be a lot of debating on here in the show. So, but before I get started, I want to apologize for the inconvenience in regards. I know it's been a while since I've done a show. I apologize with that. I had technical difficulties with my equipment. So for that, I do apologize. But I did upgrade my equipment. You got a new laptop, got a new microphone. So everything is new. I got everything resolved. So we're back now. We were supposed to go live. Unfortunately, I was having some technical difficulties with the other thing that I use. So we had to do it here on Zoom. But I promise y'all, next episode, we will be going live on YouTube. I just got to work that out. So I apologize ahead of time for that. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Make sure y'all go follow us we're on Facebook, the Wrestling Talk Radio Facebook page. We're also on Instagram, Wrestling Talk Radio. I post kind of like the breaking news or anything like that in regards to the show, matches, or anything new regarding WWE, TNA. Still working. Ring of Honor is pretty much quiet right now, but I'm still reviewing that. And then New Japan, which I got a guest on today that's going to end discussing a little bit about the New Japan. I haven't really discussed the New Japan and everything. On that. So also need y'all to check out a couple things. My homeboy Ariel, aka Josiah. He has this show, Straight to the Point Radio. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. They're also got an Instagram page. Make sure y'all check them out. I think they're recording this weekend. I'm not for sure, but check them out. I think he'll go live. They always have numerous things that they talk about. Him and my homeboy Fuego Beats. Shout out to Fuego Beats WFSB Radio. Make sure y'all check them out as well. Other boy Tim Whaley. He has his own podcast, Stats Don't Lie Sports Podcast. I'm going to be up there eventually, Tim. I apologize. Tim has been helping me out with a couple of things in regards to my show personally, and I'm going to have him on eventually. But Tim, appreciate all the help you done for me in regards to this show. I definitely want to show up on the show. Y'all got to check him out. He has his own Twitter page. He actually has a Stats Don't Lie web page. I want to check that out. He's also on Instagram. He also has a Facebook page. So you make sure y'all check that out as well. All right. With no further ado, let me introduce my guests for this evening, for this show for this evening. Y'all may recognize 3 of them, but I'm gonna get to those other 3 assholes later. So to start, with, all right, my homeboy, he's gonna discuss a little bit about New Japan Pro Wrestling. We're gonna get that in just a moment, but I want to but bring to the show Ricky. What's up, Ricky? How you doing, man?
What's up, everybody? What's up? As you mentioned, my name is Ricky. I'm your local New Japan guy. It is what it is, but I've watched all different kinds of wrestling, so it's great to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, and Lucas, go ahead. Hey, y'all know Lucas. Lucas was on episode 2. Lucas,
what is good?
What is your nickname for Ricky? So everyone, you and Chris will know. And please explain to you why the people at home, explain to them why you say fella.
Oh, he's nicknamed Seamus in my phone book.
Because I'm a redhead.
Yeah, that's it. Sure. It's not like you don't look like him or anything, but whatever. Sure, we'll go with that.
I don't want to hear that kind of talk right now.
Also, got your boy Kev. What is up, Kev?
Yeah, we in here.
Kev was on episode 1, the pilot episode. He helped him out with the first episode, as well as our other guest. I don't know if he's on mute or not. Chris, can you hear me? Chris is there. He's Chris is in the middle of something right now. But Chris is gonna be on the show periodically. You'll hear him. He's taking care of something in the background, so he'll be joining us throughout the episode. But first things first, I know we haven't been on the air in a long time. Like I said, I've had technical difficulties, but I came on at a good time considering we got 2 big pay-per-views coming up this weekend. First of all, we have Impact Wrestling. They have their pay-per-view, Slammiversary. I think this is, 15 years for them now? Or I want to say 15.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Impact, they're having their big pay-per-view this weekend. I know their main event is a Fatal 4-Way. for the Impact title, which was stripped of Tessa Blanchard. If y'all don't know what happened with Tessa Blanchard, go Google it. She got stripped of. She was the world champion. She got stripped of the title because basically she didn't do it. She sat her ass at home, didn't do nothing. Basically, they stripped her of the title. So it was a fatal four-way. I heard a lot of guys who got fired from WWE are supposed to be making their return to Slammiversary. Names I've heard were Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, EC3 supposed to be returning back to Impact. What's another name that I heard? What's another name that I heard? Oh, Eric Young. So there's been a lot of rumors in regards to a lot of those guys coming back to Impact Wrestling. So pay-per-view is going to be Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Google the lineup and everything. I'm not going to go over the whole entire lineup, but from what I see, it's going to be a decent show. So y'all may want to check that out. Also on Sunday is the Extreme Rules. Is it the House of Horrors? Is that what they're calling it? The Horrors? The Horror Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I don't know the name. It's just a dumbass name for it. That pay-per-view Sunday. Some of the matches that are taking place, the Swamp Fight between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. It's a non-title match. It's probably going to be one of those cinematic matches they had, like The Undertaker and AJ Styles had at WrestleMania, which that was a good job. So I'm hoping they do a good job with this one as well. Also, the United States Championship is on the line. MVP versus Apollo Crews for the United States Championship. That's another match. They got Asuka's defending the Raw Women's Championship against Sasha Banks, and then Asuka's defending the Bayley. I'm sorry, Bayley's defending the SmackDown Women's title against Nikki Cross. So a lot of matches at the pay-per-view, but we'll get to that until a little bit later. If not, check those pay-per-views out. Some good wrestling weekend coming up. So it's been, I understand what the wrestling business has been with the whole pandemic and everything, but shout out to all the wrestling companies for still doing their thing. Speaking of wrestling, other wrestling companies, Ricky is an expert on the New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, we're going to dip into the New Japan Pro Wrestling here and there. I don't personally watch it a lot. From what I've seen, I've seen Kenny Omega have some really good matches there. Also, Chris Jericho. So I've seen a lot of them have some matches. Most recently, they just had a pay-per-view, I believe, called Dominion. And Ricky did watch it. So, Ricky, can you enlighten us a little bit about that pay-per-view and just about New Japan Wrestling for the fans who don't normally watch it?
Yeah, sure, no problem. As you mentioned, I am the resident correspondent of New Japan Pro Wrestling. New Japan itself is obviously a very different promotion than anything else going on in the U.S. Different than Ring of Honor, different than Impact, different than AEW, WWE. So it's a much more hard-hitting style. It's a very different setup of a show. And the biggest way I can explain it is that, as I was explaining earlier to some of the guys before we got on and started talking, was they only have a selection of some big shows, big pay-per-view style shows, with their biggest one being Wrestle Kingdom every year, always on January 4th. That's where some of the most famous Kenny Omega matches happened. That's where his first match with Okada happened. His first match with Chris Jericho happened at a Wrestle Kingdom. And then throughout the year, they have a number of different tournaments that go on, whether it's in the juniors division, which is kind of like the cruiserweight division, but they prefer to name junior heavyweights. It's a historical name for them. They have a tag team tournament, and then they actually have two major tournaments for the heavyweights, which are, your standard 240, 250 pounds, 6'3", 6'4" guys, or bigger, smaller. You get the idea. They actually had a double header this past weekend, which were the end of their first tournament of the year, which was the New Japan Cup. And the second event was Dominion, which is one of their biggest pay-per-views of the year. It's probably their second biggest show that they do. And the interesting thing about this is that those shows are probably the first that I know of major stadium performances with audiences since coronavirus began, since COVID-19 scare began. No other sport, nothing else other than a protest in the United States has had this many people in the same place at the same time. So it's kind of a big deal.
Right.
The first night was as I mentioned, the end of the New Japan Cup. They actually had 3,318 fans live in attendance, socially distanced, wearing masks.
Wow.
And I will say this. I said this to Lucas earlier this week. Watching it a little bit, crowd noise that was actually more than just maybe like 100 people total. It felt a little weird because of how little any of us have seen of it in the past 4 months. It was one of the weirdest things I ever felt. I was like, there's sounds from people? Like, it's really bizarre. It's not something that you will expect once you start hearing it again. I will say that. But the main thing about this weekend as it happened, the first night, as I mentioned, was about 3,300 fans. The second night for Dominion was 3,898 fans in attendance. So pretty great houses, since they were limited to about, I think it was a third of their capacity for the show, for the actual arena itself, based on legal guidelines. The big angle for this weekend, which is just the one thing I wanted to touch on really quickly, was in New Japan, they have a bunch of factions. Everybody here has heard of the Bullet Club.
Yeah, they got factions off the ass in New Japan.
What was that?
I said they have factions out the ass up in New Japan, though.
Yes, they have a bunch. It's almost like the Harry Potter sorting hat. You get placed in the one of the
bro.
group.
I thought I don't mean to cut you off, Ricky, but I forgot who I said. I think I said that in one of the comments. I was like, dude, they have so many factions. I was like, New Japan keep factions alive.
Oh yeah. No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I actually found it really easy to keep track of. Some of the biggest factions that they've got are Chaos, our Suzuki Gun, our Bullet Club, and the main star of the weekend is Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Yo, how'd you say that? Yo. He didn't stutter.
That.
He said it in one straight line.
He practiced that.
No, I didn't, I swear. But the biggest storyline of the weekend was the New Japan Cup itself and what it leads to. The winner of the New Japan Cup of this past weekend got a shot at Dominion for both the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental titles, which is a huge match. And as we all know, this is the year of the double belt champions, so that's kind of a big deal. The winner of the New Japan Cup this year, as is very fitting for the year 2020, is a guy by the name of Evil. And Evil won the tournament and then proceeded, once confronted by his stablemate in LIJ, Tetsuya Naito, to turn on him and then join the Bullet Club. So basically, he wins the entire tournament. His teammate comes out to congratulate him and say, we're going to have a great match tomorrow. If you beat me, you beat me, but we're still LIJ for life. LIJ does a bunch of fist bumps to show their unity with one another. Naito went like this, and Evil went like that. Hits him with his finisher, also called Evil. Does the two sweet with Gato in the Bullet Club and moves on to joining the Bullet Club. The next night at Dominion, he comes out, he faces Naito. In a very good match, and actually a pretty good match, with some interference at the end by a guy by the name of Dick Togo, Evil has won the heavyweight title.
Right.
If you want a better representation of 2020 than a man named Evil being the world champion, I'm not going to be the guy to be able to find it for you.
He's got both belts.
That means that he won both the heavyweight and the Intercontinental title. Now, there is also a set of championships called the Never Championships in New Japan, which I can explain later on down the road. He is one of the 6-man tag team champions with other members of LIJ, which means you can put away your Becky 2 belts. You can put away any other 2 belts you got, because we got 3 Evil. We got 3-belt Evil. And he is now your heavyweight champion. He is now your Intercontinental champion, and he's still a champion with LIJ. What's going to happen next? I have no idea, but it is definitely one of the most shocking weekends that I've ever heard of, let alone seen, from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
That's what's up, man. See, you do. This dude knows his New Japan Pro Wrestling, man. This is why I needed an expert on the show. Shout out to Lucas, man, for tell me about Ricky that watched New Japan.
Ricky, we appreciate you and your knowledge, man. That shit was clean.
Yo, Ricky, that was dope. Very. Yo, I gotta give you applause, man. Good job.
Mood?
Good job, man. Thank you. Thank you. You gave me some knowledge. Yes, man. You gave me some. Yo, you know your shit, man.
First
bro,
off, Chris,
Hey, Ricky. Hey, Ricky. Can you comment on something though?
Sure.
So did they? Because I thought I saw it. But Jushin Thunder Liger really did finally retire, right?
Yes, his final match was at Wrestle Kingdom.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so I wasn't wrong.
No.
Y'all just
After
edged out
a 5-decade career. Think about that.
Bro.
He was a guy that was trained at Calgary at the Hart House, at the Hart Dungeon.
Yeah. Yes.
Damn.
Yes. I
Think
want
about
you to
that.
go back. If you guys can, it might be able to be YouTube. Jushin Thunder Liger, Chris Benoit, 1991.
Oh.
Or was it 2?
Did you say player one?
I think it was 1991 or 1992. But it was a super show. Remember when WCW and New Japan had that relationship?
Yes, they did have those super shows, and I believe you're right. They did have a match there.
Man, talk about a match. That's when I knew Jushin Thunder Liger was that dude, and him and Brian Pillman put on a good match in Super Brawl 1992 as well. Jushin Thunder Liger is honestly.
I remember that match.
For the short-lived WCW Light Heavyweight
Championship, right?
Oh, yeah,
Brian Pillman.
What a legend. I've been watching some of his stuff recently. Dude was an absolute legend.
Go back and watch. If y'all can go back and watch that match on, definitely watch the Chris Benoit and the Liger match if y'all can. But that Liger Brian Pillman match, Super Brawl '92, man.
I need to go back and watch.
Liger put on some shows,
definite recommendation.
I need to go watch that. Hey,
Liger
Rick,
put on some shows, bro.
quick question for you: Is the United States Championship still in New Japan?
Yes, John Moxley is their champion, which means it probably will not be defended very often because of travel restrictions. He can't get over there. So,
okay. And an additional question now. From what I've seen, the Intercontinental title over there is kind of a big deal. Is it almost like up there with the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, or?
So here's the best way I can describe it. Sometimes in American promotions, you'll see that some people will get world title runs, whether it's in WWE or other promotions, Impact or what have you, as almost like a thank you title run in some ways. I would argue that in New Japan, a lot of guys that have those kinds of runs get the Intercontinental title, but they book the heavyweight title very, very carefully. I want to say, other than Okada, I can only off the top of my head think of maybe there's only 3 champions aside from Okada since 2016, and the 3 other champions are Kenny Omega, Evil now, and Naito. Everything else was one guy. Their main champion.
You know what? Kenny Omega didn't have a lengthy run though.
What was that?
I was doing it.
He was asking that Kenny Omega. Well, he said that Kenny Omega didn't have a run. Did he have a lengthy run with the title?
6 months. It lasted from Dominion 2018. I actually stayed up and watched the full hour and 7-minute match. And that was at like 5 a.m. I woke up and I watched that. He held it from there until – oh, sorry, I forgot a title reign. My apologies. He held that until Wrestle Kingdom, where he got beat by Hiroshi Tanahashi, who then got beat by Jay White, who then lost to Okada. Yes. So.
Wow.
But so the main point was the world title in New Japan is very, very, very protected. The Intercontinental title, a little bit less so.
Yeah, because I see when they win the Intercontinental title over there, they treat it like it's a really major deal. Like, they win the Intercontinental Championship in WWE, it's kind of like, okay, you win it, and stuff like that. But over there, they treat it like it's a very special thing when they win the Intercontinental title over there.
It's just a mid-card title in WWE. That's how they're going to treat it, as a mid-card title.
Well, I mean, that it is a mid-card title, but there was at a time where the Intercontinental title was up there with the WWF title.
Right.
Because they used to have some really – what'd you say?
It used to be the workhorse title.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm going to tell you like this. Be honest with you, the Intercontinental title had better matches than the heavyweight title.
And look,
that's damn true, bro.
I'm gonna keep it real with you guys too. During the first time Lesnar was Universal Champ, Intercontinental Championship was probably the best title on Raw a few years ago.
I mean, that's been a lot. That's been happening. That's been times where that's happened a lot though. Like let's take it back. I'll take you back to 2004 when John Cena was the U.S. title. That was better than Eddie having the title to me. To me, that was. there's been times where the Miz has held the title and it's been better. Randy Savage, when he held the Intercontinental title, was definitely better than Hulk Hogan when he held the WWF Championship. And it's been some times, man.
Or even in the first ladder match, the Intercontinental title was defended.
Oh,
People got to think about that.
My favorite match, man. My favorite all-time match.
Huh.
I love
Then
that
you got
match.
the champions at the time.
It's easily one of the top Mania matches ever.
That's true. But that's true though, Cap. You look at the champions at the time and who carried it because I'm gonna tell you like this. Arn Anderson's TV title runs, I can put it up there with some people's heavyweight title runs.
Arn Anderson owned the TV title for Jim Crockett Promotions in the 1980s.
Thank you.
Tully Blanchard had a good run with it too.
Hey, Tully Blanchard, hold on. Let's not forget Magnum TA.
Oh, Magnum TA, hell yeah.
God. What could have been? What could have been?
Man, that accident, bro.
Oh, dude.
Man, that accident.
Sorry, I'm sorry. We're getting a little off track here.
You good? No, you're good. We do it. Yo, Ricky, I'm telling you, this happens all the time.
Oh, look, IC titles. Let's keep going. Fuck with them.
No, this happens all the time. We get off track and everything, but it's good because in regards to the title talk. But yeah, but we appreciate you and everything regarding New Japan. I'm definitely gonna have you on just in case any big breaking news happens or anything regarding that. Like I said, just make sure you just keep up with it and just keep me informed and stuff like that. Message me if anything big happens and we can bring you back on the show.
Will do. And my game plan real quick moving forward is if there's ever anything that like I am 100% like you need to watch this, I will give the rec. No questions asked.
Okay. Appreciate it. Yeah, because I'm definitely trying to get into I want to get back into it.
Over here. So, I mean, I get a chance to watch it when I can, but now I really, really want to go ahead and watch it now because I want to see what Evil talking about.
Yeah, that's interesting. And Tama Tonga said, we didn't get back yet, so it's his until they get back. So that's interesting right there. I see Jay White might face turn.
Real Civil War might be going on.
If Jay White do that, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so out of the loop, man. I got to start watching New Japan.
So wait, hold on, wait. Hey, Ricky, before you go though, so what's gonna happen with Ospreay? Because he just claimed that he wanted to end it all a couple weeks ago.
Ospreay is a weird one because I don't know if he's still living in Japan right now, or if he's back at home in the UK. Yeah. If he's back at home in the UK, then it's probably going to be a while before he gets the chance to be out in a crowd wrestling again, which is probably going to take a massive toll on his own mental health, which is probably why he put that message out in the first place.
He himself up, man. He had moved up a little bit. He had gained some weight. He was doing a lot of good.
Oh, he's bulked. He's put on like 25 pounds or like 20 pounds since he's been in quarantine. Yeah. Like, you see pictures on his Instagram. He is thick now. It's like kind of concerning. Like he'll never be able to wrestle like he did against Ricochet ever again. There's no way.
But his style, his style for his size now is still pretty good too. Like he's one of a kind talent, man.
So, but he is a one of a kind talent. But is he one of those people that has to be in the ring for his mental health, though?
I think so. I think there's that little validation part of him that never really gets fully like released unless he's in a wrestling ring, in my opinion. I hope if he needs help, I hope he goes and gets it. I do think though that at some level wrestling is a bit of an escape and a little bit of therapy at some ways for him.
Is there any way you believe it could be a work?
If it's a work, I personally would be offended and I would get called out publicly for it. Gotcha. I don't think it is.
Okay. Word. Talk, We've seen worse things in wrestling, but I agree with you. Word.
You can't say it wrong there. You know.
Right.
Stories. Dark side of the ring exists. We know.
Right. So I agree with you there. Yeah. So I just want to ask you that because actually, when they said you was on the show, I want to talk to you about Will Ospreay because he's one of my dudes, but I'm starting to see that if he can't be in the ring, then I feel like he doesn't want it.
I think it's the opposite. I think he feels like he needs to be in the ring, and the fact that he can't, he eats at him.
Yeah, word. Because I want to see him and Evil go at it. That'd be dope. If he can come back
get the crap kicked out of each other. I can't wait.
Bro, you know that's an hour match.
I'm in. Sold. Take my money.
He said, I'm in. Take your money right now, right?
Take it. Take it from me. Just give me the match.
I definitely gotta catch up with New Japan, man. I definitely gotta get up
I'm
on
about to
it.
get the
It's
episode.
hard hitting.
We'll make it work for you. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
It's hard hitting as fuck.
I've seen some of the matches, and I'm definitely impressed. And I'm like, man, I got to start watching more of this, man. Like, you know, you get bored watching the same one all the time, and like you want to watch different organizations wrestle. So,
Right.
New Japan is definitely like one of those organizations that you definitely want to watch wrestling because of the.
You see with New Japan, it's a lot of tradition that goes along with it. Because like I said, I remember watching New Japan when I brought up watching the Japan Super shows, and I'm gonna tell you, hey. Cap, I'm gonna throw him Masahiro Chono, bro. Masahiro Chono, bro. Come on now.
OG Three Musketeers.
Come on.
Shono, Shinya Hashimoto.
You want to know where John Cena really got the STFU from?
Man, I've seen that from
Come on,
Chono.
guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on, man. Y'all remember when Masahiro Chono was a world heavyweight champ?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
now, did you watch All Japan? Did you watch All Japan? Did you watch the Four Pillars?
Yes.
You watched all 4 of the pillars? You watched Taue, you watched Kawada, you watched Kabashi?
No, I didn't know. Never seen Kawada, no.
You gotta dig into those matches if you want some hard hitting stuff.
Okay. All right. Cool. You know I gotta do that then. Hey, I had to take it back with the Masahiro Chono though.
By all means. Three Musketeers, anytime, any place.
Hey, that's dope, man. You gotta take it out. You gotta take it out the continent, bro. Like, hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. There's been a lot of times when I was growing up, I just wanted to watch wrestling, so it didn't matter what was on. And shit.
If anybody gets their hands on those North Korea shows, I want to see them.
They're not on YouTube?
I don't think so. I gotta dig around and see if I can find it. So like 160,000 people showed up at those shows. Government mandated, but still.
They was in domes and shit.
Yep.
Nah.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Yeah. So yeah, definitely, Ricky, man. Shout out to you, man, for the New Japan Pro Wrestling, man. You know your shit, man. I gotta give it to you, man. He knows his shit, man. It's like that's like a specialty of his. So we definitely gotta have you back on in regards to that.
Wrestling is my specialty, boy. That's what I do. That's what I do.
All right, but we're gonna move on to the next segment, which I know Chris, Lucas, and Kev want to really jump on. It's the ratings war between NXT and AEW.
Here we go. I'm into this.
So here we go. I saved this particular. I was like, you know what? I know y'all wanted to come on in regard. And Raphael, I'm gonna hurt you, bro, because dude, I invited you on the show not once but twice already, and you haven't come on yet.
Hey, you got to excuse him. Sometimes he be working so much that he don't get a chance to get to his and shit like that.
Exactly. So you know, it's all love, man. It's all love. Raphael, I know we're gonna have you on eventually, though.
Because we've been trying to get down. Me and Lucas been trying to get down there to kick it with him for a little bit, but he works so much. So
yeah, I told Chris just let me know whenever, and we'll drive up there. It's literally fucking an hour drive from us.
Yeah, so
we went and kicked it with him before Fastlane a few years ago. We went out there and fucking smoked a blunt with him.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, we definitely gotta have him on the show. So now, as y'all know, what happened, Cap?
I said John's DNA crying.
Hey, you see, Cap. Cap is trying to keep it going. Cap he needs a red card.
Damn, a whole red card, huh?
I'll say what I said too. I'm gonna keep it pushing.
Shit.
But the ratings, I don't know. I mean,
so let me tell you. Okay, so as y'all know, AEW premiered back in October. It was the first week of October. AEW Dynamite. So prior to AEW Dynamite coming on TNT, Vince got NXT to come on USA. Now, if y'all follow NXT had been coming on the WWE Network at 8 o'clock, only network exclusive only, and it was only 1 hour. But as soon as AEW went on air, Vince said, you know what, let's put NXT on USA and let's make it 2 hours. Now, prior to NXT coming on the USA, they had came on, I think it was Tribute to the Troops or something like that. It was a week of holiday specials. NXT came on the air for like an hour on USA, and a lot of people who don't have the network, they were getting exposed to NXT. And I said to myself, and I remember I actually had to talk with Raphael about this. I'm like, wouldn't it be crazy if they put NXT on like live television? I'm like, so that way the wrestlers get more exposure. Damn it, they did it. And now they had this whole ratings war that's been going back and forth with AEW and NXT, which people have started crying about because AEW gets a point. AEW had been whipping NXT's ass for the past few
It's
weeks.
a group on the internet that started the ratings war.
It did.
They shall remain nameless. They shall remain nameless.
No, they should not remain nameless.
Kev,
God damn
don't
it.
remain nameless. Come on, Kev. Come
Oh,
on.
the 4-3-4.
Hey, y'all.
4-3-4. Okay,
I'm just gonna
call
wait
them
until
out.
it's my turn. I'm gonna wait until it's my turn. Y'all do your thing. I'm just gonna wait until it's my turn. I'm just gonna wait.
But all right, let me go over this past week's ratings
Just
because
give me the signal.
all right, let me go over this past week ratings because I think was it Kevin that posted it? Kev posted it. So this past week, AEW got a point. They had 788,000 viewers. NXT had 631,000. Mind you, this is the first time AEW has won in 2 weeks. NXT
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
They had it 3 weeks in a row. Okay, my apologies. Now, if you remember, NXT has done the Great American Bash these past 2 weeks. And shout out to Keith Lee, who defeated Adam Cole to become the double champion, the NXT North American champion, and well, he retained the NXT North American title, and he won the NXT championship, ending Adam Cole's reign, which I hated to see him lose, but you know, they're building up Keith Lee to be a monster in AEW. And his next feud looks like it's going to be with Karrion Kross at the next takeover, which is probably SummerSlam weekend. That's going to be. They already started. Their card is going to be lit.
It's going down next week.
Y'all already know.
TikTok.
Y'all already know.
TikTok.
Already know.
TikTok.
Y'all already know.
Get the clock set. Yo, Cross is coming for you, Lee.
I hate to see Dijakovic lose, man. He's going to get choked out. I like Dijakovic, but.
Well, rumor is he's going to Monday Night Raw. So
they need to do something with him.
Yeah, they're gonna go. They're gonna send him to Raw.
Like a couple of weeks ago, I didn't like that shit.
Yeah, they did Raw. But all right, regarding these ratings, Chris, I'm gonna let you speak on it first because I know everybody's got an opinion. So, Chris, go ahead. What is your? I know you got a lot to say in regards to the ratings war. He's gonna drink before it starts.
He takes us with and says,
I've always maintained and shall remain nameless because I just got done writing it out. I do not consider if the ratings are better, it means a better product. And the reason why I say that is because before they were out of business, ECW was still a better product to me than WWE. WWE just marketed better. They put on more, you know, the matches that they put on and the storylines that they had, they took them to new levels. But as far as like matches and wrestling matches, I always say ECW is better. So this is not a shot at AEW or anything like that. But NXT puts on better product.
Exactly.
Okay. They put on better matches. You know what? What AEW continues to do and what's going to make them fail is you're trying to build. You're not WCW 2.0, bro. You're not. Stop trying to get WWE rejects or people that just didn't cut it in WWE and thinking that's going to beat WWE because you see what happened with that before. And stop making it about, okay, well, they held us down, so we're going to come to new beginnings because guess what? AEW's primetime player, which is Kenny Omega, looks very bad right now.
Facts.
Looks very
Facts.
bad right now.
Facts.
And my thing with that is they said he did not come to WWE due to the fact that he was afraid of how Vince was going to use him. Well, guess what? He's not being used correctly right now. You can say what you want. Well, they don't want to start off keeping the younger talent down. No, what you can start off is with some dominance. You have your main players be champs to start it off. Then when the younger talent is ready for that level, then you have them go over, and that's what builds the company. Because you will make rivalries, you will make classic matches. But if you're just trying to go in, I got to give the new talent the heads up. I got to give them the champion right off the bat. your company's gonna fall. You see what happened with Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo tried to pull that new blood shit.
Oh,
You don't go from your bread. You don't go from your bread and water. You know what I mean?
You don't put Billy Kidman in a match with Hulk Hogan.
You don't. You
Ever.
don't. You don't. Right. You don't.
Ever.
You don't. I'm just saying.
Right. Come on now. So my thing is, yeah, I get you, you know, but wrestle. Put on your program and say, listen, we're not WWE. We're gonna take it from there. But every time you put on a show or somebody from a WWE come there, the first segment is, I gotta throw a shot at WWE. I gotta throw a shot at Vince. I gotta throw a shot at Triple H. And that's where you're going to fail. You're too busy worried about another company instead of being worried about your company.
thank you.
People can call them a pissant company because they have shown dominance. You're struggling against a development company. I don't care how anybody wants to explain it. You're still struggling against a development company. So you cannot go on Monday or Friday and fuck with the big ones. And I think that's what AEW marks do not get. They're not pulling in 1 million viewers at all. And you know what? As much as people don't want to understand it, they're not putting on that better of matches either. That's just my opinion, though. I'm done. I ain't shit.
All right, Lucas, go ahead. Go ahead. This is your time, Lucas.
All right.
Glasses off. Here we go.
Oh, he took the glasses
He
off.
took the glasses off. Wait a minute.
Oh.
I gotta get ready for this one. Hold on. You got my attention now. Let's go.
Oh shit.
So here's my whole thing. I love both shows. I try to love both. I love NXT, obviously. I want to love AEW, you know. Been to 2 shows. Try to support as much as I can. My biggest fucking problem with AEW is not solely within. It is solely within them, but mostly it is their dumbass fans. It is their dumbass writers, their biased ass, you know, writers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, journalists or whatever. Because let's be real now. When NXT loses in the ratings war, we sit there and we calmly take our L. We don't make excuses. We don't say shit. However, NXT puts out the better product. We all know it. Everyone with 2 fully functional eyes fucking knows it. The biggest problem is, though, with AEW marks is when they lose, their problem is the narrative changes. It's not about the ratings when they lose. They start bringing up bullshit about demographics and Nielsen ratings and all this shit. Time out. This was never a thing when y'all were winning the first however many weeks. The minute y'all lost the first week in the ratings war, now it's about the demographics. And then the next week, you see these dumbass writers always writing about, oh, AEW wins and this and that. No mention of a demographic, though. You see NXT win, and then they start bringing up, changing narratives, trying to Band-Aid the fact that they lost. I'll put it to you this way. AEW can have their win this week, but let's not Band-Aid the fact or try to ignore that Chris Jericho spoiled. It was already spoiled, but he didn't have to post the spoilers to his Facebook. He posted the spoilers to his Facebook, and guess what? Y'all still lost. Got killed. Got absolutely fucking destroyed by a show that was already pre-taped, and you leaked the spoilers to it. And you still got killed. That goes to show you this many people decided not to watch your shitty ass fucking show because you're a dumbass and you try to take shots anytime, anywhere you can towards WWE and NXT. And let's be real. It's like the same goes for Tony Khan. Like, bro, you're just making your whole company look bad by getting on Twitter and tweeting the same shit your dumbass writers and your stupid superstars are tweeting. Like, we don't need that. Because if we all know if it was Vince doing the same shit, the whole internet would be at his fucking neck. Am I right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's facts
Like,
all day.
we all know how it goes. Everybody who's anti-Vince will try to justify anything and try to change any type of narrative there is. But let's be real. Whatever company you're a fan of, you're not fucking with WWE. Let's just get that out of the picture. You're just not gonna fuck with them, especially Raw and SmackDown. You're not gonna fuck with those shows. So
even though I will say Raw did have a very disappointing rating this week. They said it was a
but
very,
you know what though? The show is actually good.
I didn't like. I mean, the show was pretty good on Raw. The tag team match at the end was what caught my attention.
Last week's was. This week's no.
Only thing I'm gonna say about that
I
is
thought this week was solid.
You have to look in. I read this one guy's TJ Wrestling. He has an article and everything, and he does his reviews of the shows or whatever. And the one thing he does point out a lot is he looks at the time of the in-ring action compared to like promos and talking. And the one thing he does point out is that they do a lot of talking on these shows. And I understand you have to get your point out in regards to the promos and promo shit, but a lot of in-ring action, like one Monday night, it was 2 hours from 8 to 10, and basically they only had like 20 minutes of in-ring action. Everything else was talk.
I mean, give Divas a chance started because a Divas match was something like 1.5 minutes long, and that's all they got on the show.
Exactly.
I mean, there you go. Point proven.
Exactly. So I'm like, I want to see, and that's the thing that separates NXT. NXT is all action. Like you'll see promos and shit like that, but you will see a lot of in-ring action. Like if you see some of their main events, look at your clock when the main event comes on. If you see that it's like 30 minutes left in the show, that means that whole entire main event is 30. That means it's all action.
Action.
Talk.
I mean,
maybe a commercial, but it's all action.
But yeah, but it's all action.
So would you say basically then, Cap? I know you and Ricky got to go, so I just want to ask this question real quick. So would you say WWE Raw should still just focus more on wrestling? Just yes or no?
I like the show that's going on right now. Honestly, I like what's going on, but you can tell it's the same people fighting each other every week. But as far as the creative narrative and interviews and everything, I like it. It's just you need more. We need more talent. We need more people on TV.
But let's not forget though, AEW also has been threatened by TNT. If they don't produce content like that, then they're out of their contracts.
And as much as I talk shit, I don't want that to happen because it is a cool alternative to WWE. But Cody threw that first shot. I just like, you know what? WCW, Titanic shit again, man. Like,
honestly, like you don't want it to happen, but at the same time, like you don't really want to feel trust me, I'm not gonna feel bad for some of those guys because they brought it upon themselves. Because we all know if that happens and they don't do shit after that, Chris Jericho, John Moxley, and a whole bunch of other fucking WWE rejects are about to be in the line to kiss Vince's ass to get back in.
It's gonna be a long ass line going out the door too.
Bro, that line's gonna be stretched further than fucking John Cena autograph signing. Are you kidding me right now? Yeah, I met the motherfucker. I saw how, bro, that line was huge.
I drove by that line. That line was insane.
I look at it like this.
I still got a picture autograph, so I'm good.
I think if that were to happen, and piggybacking with you, Cap, I do not want that to happen. I've said that. I don't never want to see nobody lose their job. I was definitely one of the big fans of hearing about AEW. Everybody knows I'm Kenny Omega out. I'm Kenny Omega to the world blow up, all that. But if they don't get their shit together to where these marks need to understand that just because it's different doesn't mean it's better.
Exactly.
And that's not to big up WWE, because I'm not bigging up WWE for shit. They're still horrible to me. But guess what? They have the means and resources to be horrible and still be afloat.
Yeah.
Startup companies like AEW cannot start up throwing shots. When you have you cannot hate from outside of the club if you can't get in.
You know what though? And another thing, one thing about AEW fans that really pisses me off is how they say Tony Khan's pocket stretched further than Vince's. Time out. That is not Tony Khan's money. That's his father's money.
Thank you. Thank you. Somebody brought that up too.
Hey, his dad could pull the plug on AEW any fucking time he wants. He could do it right now if he fucking wants.
After the show.
If there's no return, if they're not making a return, be out of there. But
literally.
And look,
He said his dad told him, do what you got to do, but if it doesn't produce, I'm cutting the cord.
Yep. And then look at how many WWE people are over there. Like, it's just crazy.
Like
Like
half of their roster is literally old WWE rejects.
Exactly.
And then whenever somebody moves over there, the thing I don't like, the moment somebody moves over there, you give them a bunch of TV time. Build your own talents. You don't have to do that. I like what they did with the Revival when they debuted, but everybody else, Luke Harper, come on, man. Like, come on.
It's not even that, but it's just like what really ticks me off is how everyone like makes this bold claim that like as soon as they jump ship that they're automatically going to be used to their to their liking. You know what I'm saying? Like Pac, let's be real now. Like we know he hasn't been on TV for a while, but let's not sit there and try to act like he was doing anything prior to him not being on TV. Let's just be fucking real now. He got paired, and it's piggybacking off of what Chris said. They paired him with the Lucha Bros, and that got no steam. They cut the cord on that real fucking quick.
They cut the cord real fucking quick with a lot of stuff in AEW. Like some of it they do it without explanation, which is crazy. Like what's it?
Rose got like 3 different gimmicks, like 3 or 4 different gimmicks. I'm like, well, she need to be on TV for real.
Yeah, Brandy can't wrestle with a damn. Like she
can't wrestle.
I watched that match last night.
Man in 2000 treatment right now. That's what she's getting.
Yeah.
Does she have value that she can add to the TV show? Probably somewhere to the level that she's being featured. No.
Yeah, no.
But Kev, I didn't get
one down, but that's just how I felt.
You good, Kev? I didn't get you. Did you want to put your thoughts in? I know Ricky didn't go yet in regards to the thing. So, Kev, what was your thoughts in regards to the ratings war?
What thoughts on AEW and the ratings?
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff Chris said, I just said the same thing he said. I just, make yourself stand out on your own. You don't have to be, but we're AEW, but we'll fuck WWE up and we're better. Like, just let it go in the ring, and I'd make Kenny Omega champion from the jump.
Absolutely.
And not anybody's going to be able to challenge him. Like, I see Moxley or Pentagon, but, you can't just come over there and get a title shot like Brian Cage and all that stuff. You got to earn it, man.
I hated that, man. I really, the fact that Brian Cage came right in and got a title, so I'm like, how many other wrestlers y'all got in this company? And he just comes right in. That's like me coming into a job and just be like, all right, I'm taking your position.
Yeah.
I don't know what, like,
they had to protect him too by throwing the towel in. They had to protect him. They couldn't let him lose.
Yeah.
They hyped that match up and it was horrible.
I didn't see the whole thing. I just seen the ending on YouTube. They had to
man, you didn't miss it, bro. It was hard. They did all the hype and it fell flat. It's like, nah. This Brian Cage is boring to me, man. He is. He's boring.
He could do a lot of shit, but I think they should have did the match. They probably should have laid out the match a little bit differently to show his strong points.
Yeah.
Ricky, what about your thoughts, man?
All right, I got a lot to go over because I got all your guys' stuff plus my own thoughts. First, let's be clear on a couple things real quick about the wrestling industry in general as a whole. Number one, every show right now is flat because of the lack of fans. So every show is going to suffer. At some level, it's going to be a little bit worse because whether we want to admit it or not, the chants, the crowd reactions, the people help make the show as much as the performers do. One. And two, and I don't want this one to get lost, in anywhere in the conversation because I think this does have some kind of effect. I think that the psyche of wrestling fans in general has been taken down a peg at least a little bit because of the whole speaking out movement. Yeah. Because that opened a lot of eyes to a lot of dirty shit, especially with a lot of the British wrestling scene.
Yeah, my man Travis Banks.
Travis Banks. We had, there was a bunch of people. Basically, everybody in the UK scene except for Pete Dunne, apparently, and like Walter. That's it. Joey Ryan's career is done.
And they did the dick grabber.
Yeah.
Yes. Turns out he was the underager grabber too. Who would have guessed? But those two things, I think, do need to be taken into account before any of these conversations continue, at least on the current standing of ratings or any kind of discussion about the wrestling business, because those two things have affected the shows and the industry as a whole at a level that I don't think people really want to give credit to. Past that, on to the discussion between the two. We do not, as fans, do not need to discuss a demo. That is for advertisers only. That is not what we need to focus on. Anybody focusing on that is being dishonest about the reason why we talk about viewership numbers. And yes, that's towards AEW fans. Second off, in my opinion, AEW was justified in taking shots early on because they were doing what's called punching up. And in fairness, they were getting pushback from NXT because NXT jumped onto the USA Network. And let's be real for a second, they were booking themselves like hell the first 3 months that AEW was on TV. They were throwing out great match after great match after great match after huge storyline. And in my opinion, until probably mid-January, maybe the beginning of February, AEW was putting on the overall better show, even though NXT had the bigger stars and at times had the bigger matches.
I don't disagree with that, and that's what I pointed that out. Like, ratings don't mean better product. NXT has always put out the better product. I said for the first 2 months of AEW, yes, they were putting out the better product.
Overall
I didn't think NXT had the better matches.
Yeah, NXT it does, but I thought NXT started playing a sprint game against AEW, who was playing a marathon.
Oh yeah.
And it worked for both really well, and then NXT had to readjust. And I think they've readjusted to the level that they're putting on a much better show at this point, in my opinion. And I really, really, really am sick and tired of watching former cast-offs of the WWE jumping to AEW. Vicky Guerrero this week, I get it, but no. Paz, I get it, but really, did you need to? I mean, come on.
Jake Roberts, did you need to?
Nyla Rose can cut her own promos. Taz is great, I think.
He can cut his own promos.
Yes, Brian Cage can cut his own promos.
No. I mean, Nyla Rose, he can.
Yes, that's right.
I'm sorry.
I see what you're going for.
I hate Chris.
But he told me
anyway.
He told me to be cool. He over here offending people.
I'm the host. I can do what the fuck I want. Anyways, go ahead, Rick.
I involved myself in this conversation.
Oh wow.
No, but AEW as a show is not as good as it should be at this point, in my opinion. And I think that they're going to not do as well as they wanted to because of that. To Chris's point about Kenny Omega, I think they need to keep building to him beating Moxley. Moxley beat him at All Out in that fucking insane match from hell. So Moxley's got the win over him. They're building Moxley up as I said this to somebody earlier today. They're giving Moxley the Hulk Hogan treatment from the 80s. Build up a monster and have him beat that monster. He's done it to Luke Harper. Sorry, Brody Lee. And he's done it to Brian Cage now. I'm sure they're going to give him somebody else do the same thing too. They're probably building him down the line to drop the title to Kenny. And from a business perspective, it was smarter to lead in with Chris Jericho as the guy on the posters versus Kenny Omega. Because
absolutely.
Wait,
now that part I agree, but I don't think Moxley. Okay, that match was great, but I don't think Moxley Omega to me has a star power. I mean, it has a star power as far as the names go.
They need a
But as
storyline.
far as the match,
Yeah.
if you can give me Kenny and Pentagon,
they need to break up the Lucha Bros. They need to break up the Lucha Bros and let them and cut them loose singles wise.
oh yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that because that tag team division is getting deep, and I'm thinking if Phoenix is a
They
beast.
can split that team up. They can't split up Private Party. They won't split up Best Friends. They can split up Pentagon and Phoenix.
Because Pentagon had a good run in Impact. As a matter of fact, he ended up becoming their world champion. I didn't know who Pentagon was. He actually put on some decent matches in Impact.
Mm-hmm.
Pentagon put on some great matches in Impact. I fucked where he was at, but he put on some matches. And I'm gonna tell you, like, the reason why I know that is because Cap told me about him, and he made me watch him. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody knows Lucas over there because he got me the shirt. I am a Lucha Brothers fan, bro. Like, everybody knows I'm a Pentagon Junior nigga.
Low key, I think Phoenix is
My
right.
bad.
I think
I'm a
Phoenix is better than
Pentagon Junior man.
Well, there's some editing.
You good, you
We got
good,
some
bro.
editing to do.
But no, I agree because Phoenix is a beast. But
Yeah.
separating them, and that would be a good point. But I wanted to bring another name up, Ricky, because you were talking about number one contenders in regards to that. I think the next number one contender is going to be MJF.
Oh
I
my
can see
God!
that.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's
I think it's going to be MJF because he hasn't been doing anything as of late.
And here's the one thing I wanted to bring to the point here as well. AEW is building some decent, like, younger guys right now. They're building Darby Allin. They've built Orange Cassidy. They're building MJF. They're working on building Jurassic Express. Like, they're trying to build some newer talent. I just don't like that at the same time they're trying to bring too many name talents into the organization as well.
My gripe was that, and I was eager to talk about that. And I think I talked to somebody in regards to this. Their younger talent, they need to build up. Like, the fact that Orange Cassidy lost to Jericho, I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I'm thinking, if you're building up Orange Cassidy to be the next big thing at AEW, he needs wins. And I believe he's going to have a rematch against Jericho. And I know.
No. Steve Austin never did beat Bret Hart. Let's be clear.
Oh shit, that's true.
I mean, come on.
Damn, that is true.
Not at Survivor Series and not at WrestleMania.
Not at the
fellas,
month
my phone
after
is down. I'm gonna try to jump
WrestleMania
on my
either.
phone
Nobody
and
remembers
log back
that
in.
short
All
match they had, but Bret won that too.
The one at what?
The promo that he cut in '99 on Goldberg in Toronto, he straight up said, "People want to see you fight Steve Austin. I beat Steve Austin every time I ever fought him, and it was a fact. And Austin got more over than just about anybody else after those 3 matches."
That's true. So do you think it's going to happen with Orange Cassidy? You think eventually they're going to build him up in regard? Do you think he's going to end up having a rematch with Jericho and beating Jericho?
They jumped the gun with him going to Jericho too soon. I think they jumped way too early. I think you could have put him in a feud with probably – I'm trying to think of you need like a more established talent to put him over and give him a victory. And I don't think he was at the point where Jericho would have been a good move because Orange Cassidy is such a character that's designed to work with the crowd that having him have these big matches now hurts him.
Ricky, though, let's not act like Orange Cassidy didn't put on a hell of a match against Pac at Revolution, though. Like,
Very
true.
Everyone really saw him actually showcase his true wrestling skill against Pac. And, dude, literally anybody who was watching would have said, damn, I thought he was going to beat him.
Yeah.
There was multiple times where I thought he had a good, clean 3 count on Pac. So let's not act like, he hasn't put on a great match before. Like, easily.
My argument was never that he was a bad wrestler or anything. I just think he needed to beat somebody and he needed an established name. And I think Jericho's a little too high in the pecking order for that. That was my argument.
No, I mean, I don't think so. Like, think of it this way. If you're going to build him, like Marquis said, like, you got to have him go after the top guy, dude. Chris Jericho, regardless of what anyone says, is still the top guy in AEW name-wise. You gotta have him. You gotta have him take out the big dog, basically.
Exactly. That's like I want to see the younger talent.
So Chris Jericho is the big dog to you guys?
No, but he's probably, you see how all these AEW marks are. Oh, Le Bubbly, this and that. Like, shut up. Y'all see how they worship this man. And now pretty soon you're going to be hearing them call him the demo god and this and that.
Oh,
they're
God,
fucking, they're fucking lap dogs. Like, any AEW stupid brainless mark.
Jericho is living the gimmick of an aging rock star. That's his gimmick, and he's living it.
Look, I get it. Do you whatever.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that, Rick. Go ahead, Lucas. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I'm just saying, like, whatever, do you. But, like, my problem with him is still that he's finding ways to take shots at WWE, and it's what's pissing me off. It's like, bro, now we just don't care what you're doing in AEW because we're just seeing all the dumb shit that you're doing outside of the ring. Like, like, focus on your show, bro. Like, focus on stay in your fucking lane, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
He's Axl Rose bitching at Slash, man. I mean, he's going to be doing it until he inevitably goes back. It's kind of inevitable at this point.
I mean, look, like I said, at the end of the day, like, it's still Chris Jericho. Like, he's still probably the bigger name in AEW. That's why he was the first AEW world champ and not Hangman. Otherwise,
I think Moxley might have eclipsed him, man. I mean, Moxley came back this week, and there was a boost in the ratings.
yeah, but you're not. Yeah, but okay. I'll just answer this though. Are you gonna throw Orange Cassidy in a title feud with John Moxley right now?
No.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could give him maybe a one-on-one match and see, like, if he pins him, but we all know they're not going to allow Orange Cassidy to pin John fucking Moxley. Let's be real now.
They're keeping Moxley untouchable. He's too big of a name around the wrestling world.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? When he showed up to Double or Nothing, bro, I fucking marked out.
You became a fan that night. You weren't into AEW until that moment.
Literally, because I literally said word for word. I said word for word. If John Moxley shows up at Double or Nothing, I'm a fan. I will watch simply for John fucking Moxley.
And here we are.
I bought his shirt at All Out, and I already had one too. Yeah, see.
Moxley hat, guys. Moxley hat.
Shit, I might wear my Mox shirt to work out in tomorrow. Now, fuck it.
But basically, like I said, in regards to building up the younger stars, in regards to AEW has a lot of young talent. MJF, he's probably one of my favorites. I just like the way he's good on the mic. Dude drops promos like it's no tomorrow, man. You gotta go watch. If y'all haven't watched none of his promos, please go watch some of his promos because this dude
better than Cody Rhodes promos.
Better than Cody Rhodes promo. This dude is
you feel the Roddy Piper influence in him for sure.
Like I don't even care about him wrestling. Just the way he talks, the promos that he does, especially with fans in attendance, are just
calling motherfuckers out left and right on Twitter, calling people fat.
And you know what? He comes off as natural. It doesn't sound like it's being forced. He's like, he can be one of those dudes
like
who can beat out.
He feels like a cocky rich kid.
Exactly.
Look, I don't care what anyone says. No heel work is going to top Ciampa 2018. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
That's a discussion.
Nobody is touching that for a good hot minute. That was when Ciampa was at his fucking best.
I agree. That's a discussion.
That was that, dude.
We gotta do a discussion on that one.
And look, you know what? You know what's crazy? Ricky and I were watching Takeover Philly that night, and we were both fucked up. And we said we made our own drinking game. We had one thing that said kill your whole fucking bottle of whatever you're drinking if Ciampa shows up. At the time he was labeled bald twat or bald fucker. It was one of the two. So this man shows up, smacks Johnny in the back, and Ricky kills his gin. I kill my whiskey.
That was not a good end to that evening.
That was not a good thing to do, huh?
That was not a good thing.
Chris, bro, we were drinking for the whole show, though. There was probably like this much of whatever we had left in each of our bottles.
We also tried playing a game where every time Walter would chop Pete Dunne, we would drink too.
Oh,
that
God.
wasn't that smart.
I watched that match the other day, too, the Pete Dunne Walter match.
I'm going to watch that takeover once we're done.
Oh, man.
That was a hard ass.
Look, Ricky.
I can't speak for you fellas, but for me, if you tell me that either Walter or Matt Riddle are on my screen, I'm going to watch every day of the week.
Look, Rick, let's not act like we weren't matching those chops sip for sip with some very heavy beers.
Yes, very much so. It hurt.
Yeah, and at one point, we started ripping shots too. Don't forget.
Okay, I just want to say something. Back to what Ricky was saying. I know that was like 3 probably topics ago. He made a. I like what you said. He was like he's an aging rock star. Yeah. Speaking about Chris Jericho. I like that. I you know what I'll be hearing different lingos and everything like that. And I like metaphorically how you said, compared that to an aging rock star. Because you know what? When you think about it, that's exactly what he is. A rock star who just doesn't understand that his best days are really behind him.
No, he knows it. He knows it.
Yeah, he sells records, but that doesn't mean the record that he's selling is good product. You know what I mean?
He's hair metal in the grunge era.
Huh?
He's hair metal in the grunge era.
Okay, exactly. So my issue with Jericho is you didn't leave WWE on bad terms. Neither times that you left. Secondly, Vince believed in you when Eric Bischoff didn't. Everybody knows the story how he pitched to try to get Goldberg. He didn't say he wanted to beat Goldberg, but he believed in his ability that he can main event with somebody like Goldberg or be in that type of picture. He comes to WWE, and within a year, he's thrusted into main event status. People pay money to see Chris Jericho.
Within a year, dude. First night, his promo was against The Rock. His second promo was against Undertaker.
And then the next year, it was against The Undertaker. I mean, the next week was against The Undertaker. The fact of the matter is, like, you don't have a reason to throw shots and throw darts at Vince, because you know what? You're not doing it in a competitive spirit. You're doing it to be malicious. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get another thing. Whether people, Fozzy is a great ass band, but you don't think his stature in WWE has plateaued him into that level?
Facts.
Jericho is who he is today because of Vince McMahon. That's why AEW made him the biggest signing, because of who he was. When he came back in 2007, everybody was fucking nuts.
Yep.
He ain't talking like 3 weeks.
He had one of the best title runs in history in 08 to 09, when he became the self-centered dickhead Jericho.
His feud with HBK. His HBK ladder match at No Mercy in 2008.
In the mouth. Right. Jericho. Can we talk about Jericho?
I'm the best in the world at what I do.
I'm the best in the world at what I do.
Stolen from Bryan Danielson.
The rivalry he had with CM Punk.
The rivalry he had with CM Punk.
Man, oh, man, that was one of my favorite ones, man. That Mike for Mike, yo, that was a good-ass rivalry, man, because it was, I didn't even care about the match. The promo work between those two in the ring, you just wanted to listen.
Watching that street fight that they had the next month at, I believe it was it Backlash still, 2012?
Which one?
When
Punk,
Punk,
I think it was Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules 2012, Punk versus Jericho in I believe it was in a street fight when they both wore the jeans.
Yes.
Great match. Great match.
I remember that match.
When he poured liquor in his mouth.
Yeah. I was there for that. It was great.
Yes. And then his last ride in WWE was fantastic.
The list. Yo,
Character work for days. Character work up the wazoo.
Exactly. So with all that being said, and you did not leave on bad terms. Matter of fact, it's on record. He said he went to Vince and said, "I'm going to do New Japan. I'm going to do this." And Vince gave him his blessing, like, "Go ahead and do it."
Yep.
I always assume Jericho's in character. That's why I don't get too mad about him.
I'm not mad about it. It's just I just kind of feel like, fam, you don't bite the hand that fed you, bro, because you are who you are today. You could have easily been that person that rode it out with WCW and let Time Warner, pay your contract out, and you were going to be made an example out of in that whack ass invasion angle.
Yeah, I always think to myself, what would have happened if he would have stayed with WCW, and then during the invasion angle, if he would have came over, he was a part of the alliance instead of Team WWF.
Right.
I was wondering about that.
Hot take: he is the fifth Radical.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's the fifth Radical because of how close he was with
Jericho,
Eddie, and Player One. So I think he's the fifth Radical if he's not, because he only came like 6 months beforehand.
Yeah, that's true. He did. He came in August 8th. August 8th.
He came Yeah, we definitely we got to do a show on the invasion, because we can do a whole story on the invasion, because I got a lot of thoughts on the invasion angle, yo. That's a whole entire show.
I got a lot of gripes with the invasion angle because I was a young man at that time, and bro, you couldn't tell you know what? And I didn't understand wrestling then as I do now. As far as the backstage of it, All of that. I didn't understand it.
Best part of the invasion, I'm gonna say it. The My Sacrifice music videos. Best part of the invasion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And on my prayer we meet again.
The only thing in my life that's made Creed look cool.
The promo video before Survivor Series.
Oh God, Lonely Road of Faith. I showed that to a non-wrestling fan of mine that liked Kid Rock. He was torqued. It was great.
Fam, My Sacrifice is definitely the best part of the invasion. Just like My Way is the best part of the Austin Rock rivalry.
Yep. There's nothing better. Nothing will top it.
Or How Always by Saliva is the best part of Survivor Series 02.
True.
I like Puddle of Mud Control.
Blurry.
For the Survivor Series theme. Yo, I love that, yo. That was my shit when they did the promo, man. Just go, if y'all get time, go on YouTube and watch the promo for Survivor Series 2001. That shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, the invasion.
Yes,
yeah,
the invasion story. Man.
I mean, I want a Monday Night War episodes too. I've watched too many gosh darn Goldberg matches in the past few months to not talk about it, okay?
Get it off your chest, bro.
Right,
get off your chest.
Hey, speak your mind, fam.
Go ahead.
Make you feel better.
We pretty much done with the ratings thing. We've already spoke our mind regarding the ratings. All this shit we doing right now is just freestyling. Because that's all I had. So you got something on your.
No. Let's make this very clear. Okay. This is how badly the invasion was dropped. This is how bad it was. With no card and a pay-per-view poster featuring Shane and Vince McMahon, the Invasion pay-per-view is one of the top 5 non-WrestleMania WWE pay-per-views to this day because it was built on the back of WWF versus WCW. With no card on the poster of any kind, they sold that many pay-per-views for the first time. It was supposed to be WWF versus WCW. And they botched it. And they botched it so badly that any kind of fans that were Southern wrestling fans that they could have kept were scared away immediately. That's how badly they screwed that up.
Damn. And you know another reason why they botched it? They botched it because, number one, Vince McMahon we already know he has an ego. So let's get that out the way. He was too busy. Vince McMahon didn't really realize how much money that could have made him. Like, that could have really put him over the billionaire status. And can I explain a little bit why? I know we freestyling, but I want to explain a little bit why. Vince McMahon didn't have to pull the plug on the invasion angle that quick. You know that, right, Ricky?
Yep.
Do you understand that, Keys?
Yeah.
Cap, you get that?
Yeah.
Lucas, do you know that?
Yeah.
He did not have to, because I'm going to tell you why he did not have to pull the plug on it that quick. And somebody made this a good point on wrestling bios. I do a lot of YouTube wrestling shows, shit like that. I listen. A lot of the big name stars, the Kevin Nashes, the Stings, Goldberg, Hogan, Jarrett, Sid. A lot of those were still under contract with Time Warner.
I'm sorry. You said big names and Jarrett.
I'm saying Jarrett was a big name in WCW.
Just want to make sure.
Okay, you know what
Vince said when he seen him on the screen.
Right.
Broke 1,000 guitars.
Right. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. But anyway.
That was a good one.
That was a good one, man.
That was a good one, Ricky. Low key.
That was a good one.
That was good. That was good.
Man, that is threw me off.
That was good. All right, Chris, go ahead.
So, all of them waited out Time Warner. Do you know Booker T took less to perform in WWE because he wanted to get back to wrestling instead of, same thing with Scott Steiner. Vince McMahon, because guess what? NWO came in February of 2002.
I know where you're going with this, and I'm going to make the one counter argument for this.
Okay, just let me finish it, and then you go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Vince McMahon could have made WrestleMania 18 the invasion angle. And the reason why is because all of their contracts would have been done by that time. So if Vince would have took his ego out of shit, he could have got Hogan, Nash, Hall, without even having to do the poison angle. He could have still did the Rock versus Hogan, or Austin versus Hogan, or Austin versus Goldberg, or we could have got a Sting versus Taker if he'd have took his head out of his ass. Because you ended up, Ric Flair came in November. He came the next day after the invasion. You could have built it all up starting from Survivor Series. You could have. And WrestleMania 18 would have still been the conglomerate that it was, but it really would have been the invasion.
Yeah.
Ricky,
It's all good.
he said you got a counter. And
My counter as to why that didn't happen?
Oh, I know, but
Well, you didn't say why it didn't happen. You said he could have.
Okay.
I don't think he could have for one reason and one reason only. XFL V1. How much money he pumped into that thing? He didn't have the money he had before he did that. If he had not done the XFL when he did the XFL, dollars to donuts, he's buying out the contract of Bischoff, Goldberg, NWO, probably not Luger, probably Sting, still DDP, still Booker T, and they're all in probably by SummerSlam, if not shortly after. Because they panicked and went to the invasion only because two of their biggest stars got hurt at the same time. It was a panic move to start it
Chris
when they did.
Benoit, Triple H, and
yeah.
The Rock was doing a movie.
Yep. They should not have made. I think the two-man power trip was not the right move at that time. Hot take. Should have inverted the roles, made Triple H the face, made Stone Cold the heel, and run with it. But that's just me.
Hey, bro, that definitely should have been the double turn moving forward. Like, I honestly believe that, instead of the next night on WrestleMania where they had The Rock versus Stone Cold in the cage match to send The Rock off, they should have used that to build up it. I know we had just got done with Austin and Triple H and the 3 stages of hell and everything like that, but they could have countered on that. They could have built that back up with the double turn. Now, really, Triple H is the face. Austin just walking around stunning Stephanie McMahon every time he saw her, just stunning her ass. You know what I mean? Like,
Turn her into a sympathetic character. You
right.
pulled that off. You legitimately could have pulled that off at that point.
Right. You could have had. Now you could have still kept Chris Benoit and Jericho as tag team. Had the Brothers of Destruction do that. But I'm piggybacking off of that. I feel like, by SummerSlam, but like the start of the WrestleMania season, they could have had at least get to going. Ric Flair, he's the new GM, and with the new GM, I'm bringing in, I'm gonna bring in some old friends. We may have didn't like each other, then boom, there you go. Because that's where they panicked and they started having WWE players switch sides to ECW and WCW. So let's not forget that.
That was messy. That got too messy. You get the actual ECW guys in ECW, cool. Once they started getting too many guys in that group, got a little messy. Got a little dicey.
Yeah. I agree. There was way too many dudes in the alliance. It was that's when it got really out of control, when they started putting everybody in the alliance. And then I was like, I couldn't keep up because I watched both brands back in the day, WCW and WWE, and I was looking when they came over, and I was like, I was like 17, something like that, and I recognized, I'm like, okay, these ain't all the dudes from WCW. Where is so-and-so? Where is he at?
Right.
I'm thinking like WCW 98, it was WCW 2000. That was the problem.
Yeah, and I was just sitting there like, where are all these guys? And I'm just seeing the man. I'm like, I saw Diamond Dallas Page came over, and then I saw Booker T. I'm like, okay, so these are the main. And I always had this thing, like back in like 98, 97. I was like, man, it would be great if I could see a WCW wrestler face a WWE wrestler. And then all of a sudden, it's like everything started to come into fruition. And I remember that episode of Monday Nitro when it was the last episode, and that was one of the trivia questions we had in regards to the Booker T versus Scott Steiner thing I asked. And I remember watching it, and I was like, and I used to go back and forth. I mean, y'all remember back in the day flipping back and forth between TNT and USA, going back and forth.
Absolutely.
I was really young when that happened. I did it a little bit, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I was excited for AEW versus NXT to do that same exact thing, to go back and forth between the shows.
If Vince ever shows up on AEW, AEW marks are gonna be pissed.
I now own All Elite Wrestling.
They're gonna be like, Vince is here? Like, oh my God, it's gonna start a whole new invasion. But anyways, but when I saw Shane McMahon showing up on WCW, I was sitting there thinking, shit.
What?
Like, I'm like, Shane McMahon's in WCW in a WCW ring? And I was like, yo, at that moment, I'm like, shit is about to go down.
Keith, okay, so where were you at that night when that episode of Raw was on, and episode of Raw and Nitro when the simulcast happened?
I was at home and I was watching on my couch, and I remember, now this is before the internet had blew up and everything, so I didn't really know in regards to Vince buying WC. There were rumors going around. I heard about it.
Yeah.
But then I started seeing the episode, and then WCW, they sounded so sad. Tony Schiavone was on there. I forgot who the other commentator was on. And he sounded so.
Hey, them niggas was crying. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
They were sounding like depressed. It was Tony Schiavone. It was the other dude that was on there.
Mark Madden.
And they sounded like the end of the. They sounded like it was the end of the world.
Because that was 17 years of his life. He was in WCW starting in Jim Crockett Promotions, and I believe it was 84, and it finally ended in 2001. So for him, I get it.
Who, Tony Schiavone?
Yeah.
It's not my fault it's not my fault that he came and did a shit job. You know what I mean? They tried him out for WWF. He wasn't good.
He tried.
I remember watching the episode, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, they sounded so sad, and they were doing like they were looking like they would have so many questions in regards to, we don't know what's gonna happen and who's gonna buy us and everything. I was sitting there thinking, like, yo, this is some really sad shit. They are about to cry. Yo, I thought they was about to cry on the air, man. They were so sad.
What's this work, man? What's going on?
And Ric Flair fought Sting on the last episode of Nitro, and they were
he
like
did.
this. I remember that.
With a shirt on.
First and last.
Right, he wouldn't even take his shirt off. That's when Lil Nate was around.
And I was sitting there thinking, what were they in Was it Palm Beach, Florida?
Palm Beach, Florida. It was spring break.
It was spring break.
Panama City, yeah.
The Redneck Riviera, in Vince McMahon's words.
And it's funny somebody said Jeff Jarrett. It's funny somebody said Jeff Jarrett, because on that episode on Raw, Vince was looking at WCW locker room. He seen Jeff Jarrett. He said, "Oh yeah, he's gone."
Capital G.
He was like G-E. He like G-O, double N. He was so.
Yeah.
That's what happened when
I was at home. I was 17 years old. I just turned 17, March 15th. I was at home at the crib. It was a Monday, like you said, and
because it came on regular. Nitro came on regular.
Yeah, it came on regular.
And then you just see
it.
I was just right. Nitro came on regular. I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna flip back and forth because, you know, I mean, that's what I do. I'm watching wrestling. I mean, I know WCW sucked, but I was like, fuck, I'm gonna watch it anyway. And then they got on TV and was like, yo, this is the last broadcast we're gonna have. I'm like, what? But see, me, I'm thinking Sting, Goldberg, Hulk Hogan, all them going back to WWF.
Yeah, that's how.
So that's what my thinking. I didn't think it was gonna be freaking DDP stalking Undertaker's wife.
Yeah, that's just.
That storyline was crazy, man.
That was a choice.
Right.
Although him unmasking that pop was pretty lit.
Yeah.
It really was though. It was a big pop though.
That was a great pop.
It just didn't make any sense.
When Booker T first introduced himself he introduced himself to the Rock. The Rock said, "Who in the blue hell are you?"
So no, I'll never forget. I was actually in Orlando, Florida, in a hotel with my parents, and my cousin, my brother, and I were watching wrestling, and I vividly remember seeing the simulcast. And of course, I'm like 7 years old. I'm young, so I don't really get what's going on, but I know it's a simulcast, and I know this is legit, and I know they're talking about WCW and WWF, and I'm just sitting there like, what's going to happen now? Like, why is Shane on a different wrestling show and a different wrestling
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking like, so WCW's not coming on anymore? That's the first thing that came to my
I thought WCW was gonna just take a break and like Shane was just running WCW and this is gonna be on a different TV.
At first, I thought, that's what I thought at first. I thought Shane was going to continue on with WCW by and then continue the show on. I didn't know what was going to happen after that.
They were supposed to shut down and then restart.
Restart.
They actually had an ad out. I think it was for May 4th, 2001, something like that. So an event called the Big Bang. I believe it was supposed to be in Vegas, where they were supposed to be like their relaunch. Like they're like not like their Eric Bischoff New Blood storyline relaunch, but like an actual organizational relaunch.
Yeah.
The problem
I went to shit real
time
quick.
slot.
Find that shit.
I remember going and looking at
I
TV.
know they had a video game called The Big Bang, and that was supposed to come out. It was gonna have like 70 fucking players. It was supposed to be better than No Mercy, WCW versus the World, all of that.
I remember that game. Oh my God!
Yo, y'all remember,
now.
y'all remember Chronic?
Wrestling games. Oh Jesus, we could go down a
Y'all
long
remember
rabbit hole
Chronic,
there.
the tag team? Brian Adams and
Chronic.
Yeah, Chronic. They had one
Brian
match
Clark.
in WWE. Yeah, they had one match.
Buff Bagwell had one match.
One match is all they needed.
Yeah, Buff Bagwell had that one match. The crowd didn't react at all.
Why are you walking into showing off your new promotion and using Buff Bagwell as your guy?
They
At
used
least
Buff.
get Steiner in there.
Vince said no more.
No, they didn't have Stein at the time.
I know. Get Steiner for that spot.
Yeah.
They had Buff Bagwell.
Remember,
I remember
they
watching
got
that match.
Steiner. They got Steiner down the road again. They got Steiner in February. No, they got it at Survivor Series.
2002.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking, and then I got excited when I saw the belts starting to come over. I'm like, oh, here comes the United States Championship. Here comes the WCW. I'm like, oh, snap. I'm like, so they got like it was like almost 10, 11 titles they had?
Yeah, they had They had both cruiserweight titles. They had all the tag titles, the U.S. title.
I was hyped about that.
They had the ECW title. They had all the titles. Title?
The TV title didn't come over. They retired.
They never had the TV title.
They never had the TV title.
That surprises me. I feel like that's a pretty gimme belt for a promotion that has a regular television show, and I never understood what promotions don't have.
I thought AEW was going to have a TV title. The TNT.
I thought the TNT title. What are you talking about?
The TNT. I call it a television title. I don't say TNT. It's a television championship. Let's be honest. It's not a. It's a television champion.
It was born out of the 70s in the local promotions in the NWA territories as a television-like exclusive belt, and that's what it is. It's a TV
What is that
title.
dude supposed to finish that belt? Because Cody say it's not done yet. So like, when is he going to finish it?
Who knows?
I mean, he pretty much looked like he created that title on SmackDown versus Raw.
That's what it looks like. And I thought the belt was going to be a big belt. Like the women's title is, oh God, that thing is like so little. It's like,
you see, if that belt was bigger, it would be good. And if they shaped the world title better, it'd be pretty good.
I have no problem with the AEW title. AEW title is gorgeous. I love that
gorgeous.
title.
I just don't like that it's like too thick in the center. It doesn't like build up to the main plate. But that's the Mid-South influence. That's how the Mid-South title was, and that's what they built off of.
Yeah, the women's title is too small. I never understood that. The tag titles look decent though. I have a problem with the tag title. So, AEW does have some decent belts. The TNT title, the television title, they need to work on that one. But other than that, the United States champ now in WWE, the United States Championship is gonna grow on me a little bit. I didn't like the design.
That bitch is cold. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That title
you like it, Lucas?
I do. I actually think it's probably the best looking title they've put out in the last few years. So to be completely honest with you,
it's kind of grown on me a little bit. I still like the old design.
Look, the old design is the old design, but you always could definitely freshen up the titles. They definitely should scrap the Universal title and bring back the big gold title. That's what they have to do. That. They're not going to, but they should. But that's just a smart idea, though, you know?
Belt design hot take. I'm over the champions name things as the side plates and not a nameplate. I'd rather have the nameplate than have the side plates.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with you on that.
I like the side plate.
Hold on. I like the nameplate. I like when they used to have their name at the bottom. I like that. The nameplates, now it does make it stand out because whatever your gimmick is, the nameplate, it makes you stand out. But the old school nameplate with
every belt has to look the same at that point because they have to have the same style of side plates.
Look, I'll put
and the shape, and it doesn't strike me. I don't like it. It's not my thing. I'm not the biggest fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, here's my thing. To me, I think these plates probably fit best on this title, to tell you the truth. And I'm going to say right now, there's some plates, honestly, that could make a title look 10 times better. The nameplate doesn't do me any justice because you want to know why? It's just a nameplate. These, however, have a name, and they got the wrestler's logo as well. And you can get really creative with the plates, too. So, I guess it's
the guy that just advocated for the big gold belt coming back.
I know, right?
I mean, look, the WWE title is still going to stay regardless. The U.S. belt, the new one, can change out the side plates.
The tag team title need to change.
But you know what, though? It would be nice to have at least the old belt for an old feel.
They need to make the tag team title gold. I'm sorry, I'm an old school fan. I believe every championship. Yeah,
look,
I don't. If you say you're going after the gold and the belts are silver,
they should bring back those old school tag team titles. They honestly should bring back those old school ones.
Yeah, the old school tag team title. I agree. The cruiserweight title. Yeah, they should bring back the old school cruiserweight. Look,
we can leave that in the trash where it belongs. Nobody ever gives a fuck about the cruiserweight title. Let's be real now. It had some credibility back in the day when it was held by guys like Tajiri, guys like Billy Kidman, Paul London. When guys like that held that title, it had some credibility because those guys were actually fun to watch in the ring. Other than that, nobody gave a fuck about the cruiserweights, though. That shit was the damn near piss break like the women were. I'm speaking facts here. Like,
true. That is true.
I like you guys probably agree, and
it's not 9 o'clock, so there it sounds pretty true to me.
Hey, you see,
where did Chris go?
My point.
Where did Chris go?
That's a great question. But see, the thing is, though, the only reason I want Big Gold back is for an old feel.
It's Big Gold.
Big Gold.
Want Big Gold back.
It's a classic look, man. It's a beautiful title, man.
It's a classic look. It's a classic belt that I feel like should still have its legacy carried on to this day.
Now, Lucas knows this about me. I'm not big on like the designs of T-shirts. I'm not big on like decorations and stuff. But I will say this. One day I do want to drop like $2 or $3 grand and get like a really ornate version of the big gold belt, like the old NWA version of it made. And then I want to like frame it and like put it in my office somewhere. Like I want like, that's what I'm looking for because like that's elegant enough to not be a question starter, but not like tacky, like a concert poster or something like that. Like it's an ornate like piece of the room.
I would think about that guy in regards to the title. Talk about if you bring your title to a live event, you should have to defend it.
Look, here's my thing. No briefcase, no title shot. The fuck out my face if you don't got no briefcase. That's the bottom line. I've always said it, and I always will say it.
You're gonna get attacked outside the arena.
So then, does the person that loses get the briefcase for another title shot then?
I mean, hell, if he could throw the hands, if he could hold his own, that's his own problem.
Oh, shit. That's why I would never want to walk around with.
Nobody said he was going to be successful anyway. So the way I see it, if I pin his ass, that briefcase is coming with me too.
That's why I would never want to walk around with a 24/7 title.
Nope.
That's a dangerous title to have right there.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
I wish Brock would have worn that up to a game.
And if anybody tries, this is metal. This ain't no bullshit. I will really hurt somebody.
I really will super kick you, and I really will pin you, and I really will take that belt from you.
Yo, New Japan has some awesome looking titles, man.
You're gonna have about a 3.5 millimeter metal plate.
The Intercontinental title
looks. Your face, bud.
Yo, I like the Intercontinental title. I like the United States title Moxley has.
That's a really nice belt.
Hey, Rick, you know what else I can do with this belt?
You're
I
just
could
so
turn
salty
I could
on
turn
that
it I
topic.
could
We're
turn it
talking
sideways and
IWGP
stick it
titles
straight
now.
up your ass, bud.
We're talking titles now. Catch up, buddy. The IWGP title is, oh god, it's number 2 or number 3 in my favorite belts presently. That world title looks immaculate. Well, the one that was layered and a little older looking was immaculate.
I like the one with AJ Styles when he held it because that was a beautiful belt.
That's the one.
They make so great, and then when they introduced that US title belt, that belt was gorgeous, man. I'm like, wow,
it's big. It's such a big center plate, but it's awesome.
That's a big belt, man. That's a big belt. But anyways, man, I was trying to see what happened to Chris. We could do some trivia real quick to wrap it up, but I don't know what happened to Chris.
His phone died.
His phone died?
Yeah.
All right. Well, unfortunately, he just texted his phone died. Oh, well, I thank Chris for coming on to the show. Unfortunately, he had technical difficulties. So Chris is not going to be around for the trivia that we're supposed to do. Now, this is Wrestling Talk Trivia. Basically, I do 5 questions. So what happens is every time you come on the show, we do the questions. You get a point if you win. That's 5 questions. Whoever gets them right, whoever gets the most right, you get a point. So once you get to 10, I'm going to give you a prize. I don't know what the prize is going to be. They cash app you something. It'll be a prize. I'll send you something. So I got 5 trivia questions. And wait a minute, Chris said his phone turned back on. You want to give him a chance?
More competitors. Bring him to us.
All right, let me see how long it'll take for Chris to get back on first before I bring him on. I want to be fair to everybody.
Naturally.
Let me see if he's coming back on. But yeah, basically I just asked him for a couple of trivia questions. Whoever gets them right and everything, they'll get a point. Like I said, I'll send them something. Let me see if he's coming back on before we wrap this up. If not, I'm just gonna start with the trivia. And I was like, hey, Chris has got a point already. So Kev, you need a point though.
Trying to get that. Trying to make that happen.
Kev,
I got one too. Hey, I got one too. Don't try and stiff me in my point.
No. Lucas has a point. Chris has a point. Wait a minute. Chris is coming back now.
Oh, let's go.
All right, Chris, you back for the trivia?
Oh yeah, I'm back. Sorry, phone died.
No, you good. You good. All right. So like I was telling y'all, you know about the trivia thing that I did for the wrestling.
Yeah, you know about the trivia. I be winning that shit.
Y'all not gonna like me with these trivia questions I'm gonna ask. So with this weekend coming up, the 2 pay-per-views, these 5 questions are regarding the 2 pay-per-views that are coming up this weekend. All right, so here we're gonna go.
What 2 pay-per-views coming up this weekend?
Slammiversary and Extreme Rules.
Okay, well, if any questions about Slammiversary, I'm out.
Yeah, same.
But no, the Slammiversary question should be easy. One of them is really easy. You may be able to get the Slammiversary. If you know the history of Slammiversary, you should know that. All right.
Yeah,
so
call me out, nigga. I don't watch TNA.
All right. So first question. At the 2009 Extreme Rules, who cashed in their Money in the Bank briefcase and defeated Jeff Hardy to become the new World Heavyweight Champion?
CM Punk.
Lucas got it. All right. Second question. What is Slammiversary's signature match?
King of the Mountain.
Got it.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of them. King of the Mountain. So that's one for Ricky. Next one. At the 2011 Extreme Rules, Kofi Kingston defeated Sheamus to become the new United States champion. What kind of match did Kofi and Sheamus have? Got it. 2.
Around with Lucas with that.
All right, here's another one. At Slammiversary 7, held in 2009, who turned heel and assisted Kurt Angle in winning the King of the Mountain match? Who?
Samoa Joe.
Got it. That's 2 for Ricky. All right, last one. At the 2016 Extreme Rules pay-per-view, Dean Ambrose defeated Chris Jericho in this type of match.
Oh, the Insane Asylum.
Got him. Lucas.
What was it?
The Asylum match.
Ambrose Asylum.
Yeah, I definitely know that.
Yeah. I went all over the place. Yeah. I didn't want to make it too hard with the Slammiversary one. Those were pretty simple.
You made it for the younger crowd. I get you. I feel you. Hey, okay. Because after 2008, I was like, forget WWE.
You asked one more Slammiversary question, and I win that one, pal.
Oh, see, you're a TNA fan, John.
I paid attention to nothing else.
But yeah, I'll come up with some more questions. But I think the next show we're gonna do, because the next show we're gonna focus on. I want to do a show on the Invasion storyline. We're gonna do a whole show. I know we dipped into a little bit of that, but I want to go.
I'm down.
We got to do a show.
Oh,
on the
I'm
Invasion
definitely
storyline.
down because there's a lot I would like to talk about with that.
Yeah, I like the essay up. We're good to go.
We're gonna do a show on the Invasion storyline. I don't know when that would be, but I'll let y'all know. We'll do the Invasion because I definitely want to get y'all thoughts about the Invasion storyline in regard, because I got some thoughts.
And I think we should get it from the root of everything, to where we talk about WCW, ECW, and because I honestly, with us, the 5 people that's on this podcast, bro, I know we could have came up with better angles, better matches. What resources to use. Me and Ricky already threw it out there, what should have happened, how we view it and why it didn't happen. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a whole entire show, bro. We're gonna discuss that on the entire show. So
let's do it.
But wrap this up. I want to thank everybody coming on. Ricky, thank you so much for your knowledge on the New Japan.
Absolutely.
I do appreciate that, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Dude,
man, that was dope, bro.
That was dope. That was too dope, man. He came with the notes, everything. Shows you're an expert in regards to that. I'm definitely if anything pops up regarding New Japan within the next 2 weeks, please let us know. We'll bring you on the show and everything. But you're always welcome, as always, on the show. But we thank you for the knowledge, as always. Kev, appreciate you coming on, as always. Chris, with your knowledge as well. That dude in the corner with the belt on and glasses, thank him as well. All right, so this show, I'm probably going to post it probably tomorrow sometime, because it's probably going to take a while to load up. But make sure y'all.
I really hate that man with the glasses and the belt on. I really hate him right now. Hey, that's his Tinder profile pic.
Oh shit!
You're damn fucking right it is.
Hey, my man fucking hoes with the championship belt on. I'm done.
Hey, I was
got
thinking
a
about it.
Tinder
Thanks for
profile.
reminding me.
I hate you.
Hey, Tinder bio says don't hinder the gender, all right?
Oh,
Hey, I can't wait till he comes back, man. I really miss that guy.
Yo, shout out to Jinder Mahal, man. We
Oh.
definitely.
Man, for real, yo. Shout out to gender. Don't hinder the gender.
Yeah,
He
get
had
better
another-
soon, man. Get better soon, Jinder.
Get better soon, Jinder, man. We need you back, man.
We need him back, because we need that McIntyre gender match, yo, for real.
Dante.
Yeah, we definitely
If I
need
get
that match.
that, man, hey, I'm cool, yo. Undertaker retired. I need, gender's finna carry the torch, bro.
From here on out.
From here on out, man. But before we go, as always, make sure y'all like us on Facebook. Also like us on Instagram. We have the YouTube channel, which we were supposed to go live on, but I apologize in regards to that. I'll get that worked out.
Oh, you good, bro.
Yeah, we'll get that worked out next time. So I know a lot of y'all want to comment on the show and everything like that, because I know a lot of y'all. Plus, when we go live, especially with the Invasion storyline, give us your thoughts. We want y'all to chime in regards to your thoughts in regards to the storyline. What was your idea? If you have any ideas that you wanted for the storyline or for the Invasion storyline, let us know when we get into the chat and everything, and we'll read your comments and everything like that. Once again, shout out to Stats Don't Lie Sports Podcast, my boy T Wells, aka Tim. Check him out. His Instagram, he got Twitter, he got the webpage, which I'm actually working on as well. He's gonna actually help me out with that. So Wrestling Talk Radio, we're gonna have a page where you can go check out all the shows, content, news, everything like that. I'm in development and regarding to that. That's gonna come soon, probably before the end of the year. I'm still in the works of that, but that's coming soon. Also, shout out to Straight to the Point Radio, my boy Josiah, Beloy, Fuego Beats. Check them out, WFSB Radio. Make sure y'all check them out. Always, they got some good content. I was just on there recently. We were talking about the whole thing with August Alsina and Jada Pinkett Smith and everything like that.
God, entanglement.
Entanglement. We talked about that. Or
Entanglement.
like, But yeah,
Right,
check out those
entanglement.
shows. But anyways, y'all want to give any shouts? Kev, I know your girl, she got her thing. I always try to share it when she goes live or whatever. You want to shout her out?
Appreciate that. We definitely appreciate that. Shout out to $5 Blingy Tings. You can find that on Facebook. $5 Blingy Tings. Things with a Z, you know, so you go right there, get some nice jewelry for your lady.
Shout out.
You know, support black businesses, support independent
Definitely
business.
check her out,
Absolutely.
man. She always has some good stuff up there for sale, man. Definitely.
Absolutely.
I know my
man.
girl.
Hey. I stay checking out her page, bro. Me and my girl, man. So shout out to her, man. Stop sexually harassing her. I really don't appreciate that. Leave her alone, Cap.
Lucas, any shout outs, man, or anything else you else want to say? Everything. He's about to go check out his Tinder profile because he got a notification.
He's stuck
Ricky.
in gender mode.
He's stuck in gender mode. Ricky,
stuck in
anything?
gender mode.
Oh, fuck.
Anything
No,
you wanna
just
say,
thank
Ricky?
you guys for having me. It's my first night here. It's been a great time. We've had a great conversation. I'm excited to come back for some more.
Yeah, man, Ricky, we got to definitely have you on again, man. Well, thank you for your knowledge as
Bella!
always, man. And Ricky's facing
Don't
Jeff
make
Hardy.
me do it because I'm driving. Do not make me do it because I'm driving.
Ricky's facing Jeff Hardy. Ricky's facing Jeff Hardy this weekend in Extreme Rules in a bar fight.
Oh man, good luck, man.
So good luck, Ricky, in regards to that. So it should be an awesome match.
Ricky, I got a weapon.
I would like to give a shout out. I would like to give a shout out to Big Keith for having me on the show, having us on the show. It's good. It's good talking this thing we love. We love about it's wrestling. We love it. So I'm glad that we talking about with you brothers right here. Ricky, thanks for coming on the show, bro. Because you've actually helped me learn some more stuff that I really didn't know. I thought I knew about New Japan, but obviously I didn't. So, you know what I mean? So thank you for opening my eyes to that. I appreciate this podcast. Shout out to my kids. Shout out to my girl.
Shout out the Bad Man.
Shout out to my boys.
Shout out the Bad Man.
Shout out to my boys. Like my man's Lucas. My man.
Chris is starting to break up a little bit. We apologize. Shout out to everybody in front line.
Larry,
Raphael.
Mark, you know what I'm saying? Right. Shout out Frontline, DNA.
Kings. Shout out everybody in the group.
Shout out to DNA.
Shout out to Kings.
Shout out to the Kings. Absolutely.
Shout out to the Kings. Shout out. I promise all of y'all in the Kings group, I'm going to get y'all on the show eventually.
Shout out my boy Justin Looney, man. Raphael.
Yeah, shout out to Justin. Shout out to Justin,
Raphael. Trevor. Shout out to Trevor. He was a guest a few weeks ago. Shout out to Trevor who came on a few weeks ago. Definitely going to have him back on the show. If y'all ever want to get on the show, hit me up. Let me know.
Shout out to Trevor.
Yeah, if y'all ever want to get on the show, let me know. Hit me up. Y'all got my contact information. Hit me up. I'm more than welcome to have you on the show. In regard, we'll talk. We talk everything wrestling here, man. So if y'all ever want to get on, let me know. Hit me up. Everybody's welcome here. I don't try to, I don't play no, favorites or nothing like that. I invite these guys because they're mostly available to have on the show. It's nothing against anybody else. I try to have on everybody as much as I can, but these guys are the ones that come on first. I apologize. It's nothing, like I said, it's nothing against anybody else. I try to have on everybody as much as I can. I know I'm gonna have more guests come on as we go through everything. But like I said, everybody's more than welcome to come on the show and talk it up, man. But
word, man. I just appreciate it, man. Thank you guys, man. I'll see you guys later, man. Good seeing you guys. I'm always happy to see Cap. I'm always happy to see Keith. Rick, I'm always happy to see you. Lucas, I see you every day. Fuck you. So holla at your boy.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. As we always say here at Wrestling Talk Radio, we're not just wrestling fans.
Gotta go eat.
Wrestling fans. Y'all take it easy. Peace. Y'all have a great weekend. Y'all stay safe out there.
There, y'all.